Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for this opportunity to sit down and talk to you guys again and come into your home and talk about Front of the Class. Now, this is a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie and it is based on a true story. And I watched this movie and oh my god, y'all, I wanted to cry so bad because it was just so emotional. But this movie was so good. If you have Hallmark Plus, you can definitely watch it. It's also currently on Tubi, Plex, and the Roku channel. Now, see if you guys have any of these options in your area. I am currently in down south of Georgia, so may the odds be ever in your favor. Let's talk about Front of the Class. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Treat Williams. He currently, not currently, I'm sorry. He was an actor, a phenomenal actor at that. He sadly passed away June 12th, 2023. And he played the heck out of this movie because he pissed me off because he was the young gentleman's Brad's dad. His name was Norman in the movie. Treat Williams played Norman Cohan. Y'all just bear with me as I talk about this because I was like, it had been about a week or two since I watched this movie for the first time. This movie came out in 2008 and it brought out all of the emotions it could, but I couldn't cry. I'm gonna tell you why, because I was taking my hair out and I had braids and have dandruff. So I wanted to cry, but I couldn't cry because if I cried, the dandruff got in my eyes. Like, oh my God. But let's talk about Front of the Class. Y'all, I really love this movie and it was really, really good. A lot of the Hallmark stars were in the movie. I'm not sure if any of them ever made any more movies. It was a nice cast. A lady named Patricia that played Ellen Cohan. She played on Everybody. I think it's Everybody Loves Raymond. That was the show she played on. Was it that? I know she played on The King of Queens. It said, yeah, it's Everybody Loves Raymond. I think she was his wife. Now, granted, I'd never watched Everybody Loves Raymond, but I always saw clips of it or whatever and remember watching like previews or whatever. But let's get into Front of the Class because I'm just want to talk about it. Let me get into it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to go back. Give you guys an overview. All right. Refusing to be beaten by his afflictions, Tourette's syndrome sufferer Brad Cohan vows to become a teacher, overcoming prejudice, ignorance, and fear as he struggles to make his dreams come true. Brad never gave up in this movie. It goes back when he was a little boy, and it was just like one day out of the blue, he just started having episodes. Like he would just be sitting there, having a normal, and he'll just break out. And I felt so bad for Brad. He got picked on. Y'all, this movie, I'm trying not to cry right now, just even think about it. He moved to Atlanta, looked for a job. He was living with his friend. Him and his friend had a place together. And his dad offered him a job at his construction company. His parents got a divorce when he was younger. And Brad, dad was like, his mom didn't know what was going on. She went to the library, of course, and started researching it. She reminded me of my aunt at that time. Because I have an aunt, she lives in Florida. Her name is my Aunt Marie. And she took us to the library when we was younger. Me, my sister, and her 2 grandkids, and my cousin Brandon and Nakia. And we used to always go to the library. We used to always research. And I love the library even to this day. I don't go as much, but I really did love the library as a kid. And even in school, I loved to be in the library. And Brad's mom found out, she found out that he had Tourette's because they thought it was something else, he was dealing with his parents spitting up or whatever, but it wasn't that. He had Tourette's. And it was no cure. Even she took him to like a group session where he got to meet other people that had Tourette's, and he was saying to himself, that's not me, I'm not like that. I just love how his mom never gave up. Like, she was there. She was like, even when he was, struggling to find a job, you can come home to back where you're from. Brad played baseball, and on this moment that him and his dad had with him and his brother, they were riding in the car, and he kept hitting something. His daddy snapped on him, and I felt so bad for Brad. I wanted to hold him because that was so sad. And Treat Williams played the hell out at it as his dad, and even when Brad was older and he was trying to take the SAT because he wanted to get back into school, they wouldn't let him have like a separate classroom because he had Tourette's, and he couldn't take the test with everybody else because he breaks out and starts having an episode. He can't help it. And his dad came. He was like, Dad, they won't let me take the test. His dad came, and his dad talked to them. He was like, Dad, what did you say to them? He was like, you can go take the test. I'm going back, whatever. He was like, Dad, what did you say to them? I told him one word: lawsuit. And I was like, oh, he ate what he said, lawsuit. And I was like, wow. But this movie, y'all, even when he got his classroom and every interview he went on, he was, at first he told them, and then he didn't want to tell them, and then he told somebody, and it was like, he's going to have to control that because, he'll get made fun of because, it's a difficult school. One of the guys, he was just being a jerk. And I'm so glad that even though he got offered the job, he turned it down, because even though he needed a job, he was not fit to act like he didn't have a problem. And when he did get his classroom, he talked to his students. And I felt so bad for one of the students. Her name was Amanda. My sister's name is Amanda. And she had to leave his classroom because her dad didn't like the fact that he had Tourette's, and basically he thought it'd be hard for her to learn. One of the young students in the classroom, a lot of teachers didn't want to teach him, and they gave him to Brad, and Brad actually taught him. Now, he was being a difficult child, but in the end, everything worked out or whatever. One of the young girls ends up passing away, and her mom did love Mr. Brad as her teacher, and she was like, you were the best teacher she ever had. And at the funeral, he was waiting, everybody went in, and she was like, why are you not coming in? He was like, I don't, it's because, he breaks out or whatever and starts making noise or whatever, and he can't help it. And she was like, my daughter, you were the best teacher to her. She loved you, and it would be an honor for you to come to the funeral. He came to the funeral, and y'all wanted to cry because it was just so emotional. This movie was so good. And this is a 10 out of 10. Man, don't even make 10 out of 10. It's 100 out of 100 because it was that good, because that was the emotions. I love when Hallmark movies bring out your emotions. And it was that good. He had a class pet for the younger kids. It was a bunny. He named him Waffle. The young girl that passed away in the movie, she brought a carrot for him. He does learn about her having cancer, and she passed away, of course, like I said. And this movie was really good. He does end up dating a girl named Nancy. He meets her on a dating app, and they hit it off very well. He told her about, everything about her, whatever. I love the fact that his brother came visit. And I want to say this. Now, they went to go play golf because their dad was a part of country club. And his brother, being the younger brother, it reminded me of me and my sister. Because, man, if anybody tried my sister when I was little, man, I'll be ready to fight for her. And it was just funny. His brother was ready to go to war about him. And it was just that's really sweet. I love the fact that they still were close. And his brother didn't, just because my brother has a disability, I'm gonna look down on him or anything. He was ready to throw he was gonna throw hands at that that country club, because that guy was mad because he was making noise while he was trying to play golf. And the gentleman asked him to leave or whatever. And one of the other people that was working, the guy that was working there, asked him to leave or whatever because he was disturbing the guests. And the guest was like, "We're fine" or whatever. And I love how Brad was just so open about his Tourette's, and he was talking about it, and he wasn't ashamed of it. Even when he got awarded for the best teacher, he was up there talking, and how the kids were just interacting with him. Even with his first day as a teacher at the school, he was talking to them, and he was answering all the questions. Even when people was trying to make fun of him, he stood 10 toes down. Like, it was amazing. Brad was amazing. If you have not already, please watch Front of the Class. It's 2008. It was emotional. It was good. Just have your box of Kleenex, please. But if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of my updates. And of course, you don't want to miss any of my updates when it comes to my Hallmark movies, my Tubi movies, or any movie I'm covering, or any show I'm covering. Even if I'm late, I want you guys to go ahead and watch it. What else can I say? It was just, Front of the Class was amazing. And I have to watch it again because it was that good. But thank you guys once again. And please hit that subscribe button. Alright, thank you. Bye.